Yes. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. And I must say, we're back with Alla Pavlova. And I'm super happy that Alla Pavlova, because she wasn't on the keynote speaker note. One of our speakers unfortunately couldn't make it. And Alla wasn't on my radar at first, but then when I asked people around, like, hey, who's a great keynote speaker in the sourcing and tech recruitment community? And Alla, your name came up several times. So back then we already had the keynotes ready, but you were the first person to reach out to, and I'm super happy and very grateful that on such short notice you were able to make time in your busy agenda, because I know you're very busy. And I'm very happy and grateful for you to be here. This is already our 9th sourcing webinar. One more to go next week with Mike Cohen. But as I say, kind of save the very best for almost the last in that sense. For the people who don't know me, I'm Adrian. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Matcher. I'm your lovely host, but the absolute honor goes, of course, to Alla. Alla has over 14 years of tech recruitment experience, originally from Belarus, but have been living in Amsterdam for the last 7 years. She's worked for companies like Riot Games, Dot, My Games, Blendle, Real Life, Gamehouse, and she is currently building out tech teams at Miro. She's also leading the Slack community in Amsterdam with tech recruiters, and she does weekly remote one parties for tech sourcers. Super curious to hear a little bit more about that as well, Alla, what that really means and how people can potentially participate in that. And Alla is known as not only a very pleasant person to work with, but also really delivers on the results, tests a lot of tools in that sense. And she can easily program on Scratch. And we both have the same kind of like same gaming chair. This one is of my wife's daughter, but as I understood, Alla, you also like to play video games, right? So, you walk the talk. I absolutely love it, guys. If you have any questions, just type them in the chat. The good thing is Alla does have multiple screens, so she can see your chat, see your questions. I will also moderate if Alla is so occupied in her story to jump in. Try to make it as interactive as possible, because Alla is here for us and she has so much knowledge and experience. So don't be afraid to ask anything. Alla, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's such an introduction. Yeah, I'm really happy to see some familiar faces and links or profiles of people who I personally know. Really happy to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining. And the first thing I would like to do, just double check if my audio is okay, if my video is okay. So if you can see me, if you can hear me, and if you can type it, it's great. Okay. And maybe someone from the audience, I will be more confident if you say that the audio and video is okay. Yeah, good. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna share my screen. If you were playing with it, so thank you so much. Thank you. There's a small delay, I believe, but it's okay. Yeah, that was an amazing introduction. Thank you so much. But what I like the most, and actually one of my favorite parts of the week, is our sourcing parties that we have with one party team. I love that. And I think it's one of the things that I personally enjoy to do the practical sourcing. So I'm going to use the chat just as an indicator if you're following the things, if you have questions. I'm gonna be sending the links to the chat so that you can try things out straight away. And yeah, I will put the timer because I would like also to save some time for the questions that you may have. And yeah, I'm ready to start. So hopefully you guys also are ready to start. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so the topic that we discussed with Adrian is how to get unstuck in sourcing. The idea of having one party, or the idea of being stuck, came to me personally during the pandemic times when I started to work almost alone. Everything was from home. I used to have colleagues around, and so we can, ask questions to each other, but yeah, in the online, so everyone in a way kind of busy and not replying to you straight away. So the ways how I personally felt that I'm stuck are the ways where I worked on mostly on the Evergreen Roles. These are the roles that you constantly, repeatedly working on, and this is something that is so, in a way, hard sometimes. Like, you look for PHP developers for a couple of years in the same location, and you think like, okay, so maybe there are none of them left anymore. So you can recognize, like, I had this feeling sometimes. I'm in a shopping area, and I'm saying, oh, I interviewed this person. Huh, I think I interviewed this person too. So that's probably the feeling that I have personally. So send the thumbs up if you have this, had this ever. A requirement sometimes are too tough, like they're like too limited. Okay, I want people only from Amsterdam, and then how many things you can do around it? Not many actually, and this also can make you feel stuck in a way. You've tried all the tools you knew. You in a way, like, can't diverse your pipeline anymore. So you kind of look for any communities you could possibly think of. And one of the things as well, you're relatively new to the sourcing, or you're alone in a way. So doing this alone in a team. What I would like to highlight and discuss how I was in a way overcoming these kind of problems myself was, I was looking for the new ways of using my tools. I was looking for new tools, and I was looking for new places. So these are the three things that I'm gonna focus on this presentation together with you. So I would like to quickly check in the chat. For some reason, my second screen is not working, so that's why I will switch to the screen and ask you guys: have you came for this one? Like, is it something that you came for? New ways of using your old tools, getting the new tools, and getting to the new places. Please make the thumbs up, except Machi Charles. So really want to know from the audience. If you guys thumbs up, if you say this is what you came from for, that's exactly. Sorry, just like that. No, I'm just joking. These are three focuses that I'm gonna have. So just quickly looking at the chat. Okay, so that's great. So this where we start from. Okay, I didn't put the time. Okay, and I'm gonna hide it so that you're not worried about the time. Okay, so I'm gonna explain you one framework that I created for myself. Apologies for colors. So not my best skills. So, but I've tried to create a framework that will help me to make a priorities of my tools, and make it more clear for myself as well, which things that I'm using are easy to use. I can start immediately. I have listed them here with the smile, with the emoji that's with the smile face. Which are the tools that's probably going to make a really big impact on my sourcing strategy, but also going to take a lot of my efforts. So I'll list them with a little bit sweating face. And there are two more. I will explain them as well. I'm mostly excited about the tools that are, in a way, taking time and efforts, but bringing the candidates that I probably will never find if I will not put these efforts. Oops. Yeah, the colors. What the colors mean. So all these green stickers, they all represent the new ways of my old tools, the new ways how I can use them. The blue ones is the new tools. And yeah, I just also realized that I'm actually not going too much into the new tools. I'm most often working on my tools, like upgrading them, or I'm looking for the more new places. And new places is actually what drives me. It's actually what I'm doing the most, and what I feel personally gives me a lot of energy. So my let's say formula of sourcer, you can say that, is that everywhere where you can create an account, you can probably source. And this, with this attitude, I always start my, let's say, sourcing strategies. For example, yeah, like for sourcing, sometimes when I book 2 or 3 hours of the time when no one can disturb me and I just do sourcing, I need to put some music. And, I caught myself on a thought. I'm opening Spotify, finding the playlist for sourcing that another sourcer created, and then I'm thinking, maybe I can look for people in there. I'm not going to contact them, of course. I don't think that's probably the right place in a way, but I can find them there. So, and this is the mindset that I'm bringing everywhere. So if you can create the accounts, so you can probably source. I would like to ask you guys in the chat. So, can you actually see what is written on the screen? So is it too small? Yeah, I'm using Miro. Yeah, so if it's not too small, okay, so great. Okay, some amazing playlist for sure. So let's dive a little bit into the tools, right? So you see the new tools for current, the new ways for current tools that you're using. Again, most of the tools that I see in other recruiters or sources are using, they're more in the X-ray field. So if you're new to X-ray, if
Alla,
you're in a way,
Alla?
yeah.
So
Yes.
can you zoom in a tiny bit more?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. This is great.
Great. Yeah. So in a way, when you know how to create the Boolean search, the Boolean strings, you can easily type it yourself and create some kind of list or library when you can store them. The tricky part is that sometimes they're broken. Quite often they broke. If you're new to it, so you can go and try, for example, Recruitine. So it's something that is very easy. You just put the country, just put the title, and you can create a link that's I will search for you on LinkedIn or in Drupal, on GitHub, on Sync. So this is if you're new or if you just want to have a very quick screen. This is not something new, I believe. This is something that you already know. But I X-rayed the X-ray tools and sometimes change them, and sometimes I see different profiles that they're showing. So that will be probably one of the first things that I will do. And of course, we all look into GitHub, but there are different ways how you can actually make it diverse. So lots of us know that, yeah, you can put language, for example, Java, location, Netherlands in your in the search area of GitHub and get some nice results, like 3,000 people. It's actually doable to go through them, right? So this is, but there are other ways how you can actually you can X-ray GitHub, and I also can share some of the links. And you can actually also do something else. I'm going to show you as well. So you can go in some very nice communities. So I'm going to share where did I store it. So just a second. Too many different. Yeah. So I found it. So yeah. Repository. For example, this is a repository of another sourcer, Shamila. She's based in the Netherlands, and so she created a very nice repository with different tools. And actually, when you look at these tools, you find another people, another blogs, another things to follow. You can find someone's Twitter with the threads full of very important links and nice information that you can actually use and benefit. So I will be also happy to share the link for this one. One of the great things, you can start it and people are gonna really be thankful to you, and you can use it absolutely for free. The same goes with the repository of the companies. I'm not sure if I can get from here to them. You can find what they post in there. So, and these are 5,000 followers, and you can add the location, and then you're already like, you went somewhere in a new place that you haven't been before. You can look at the languages that are associated with the GitLab, and so then you can also go in another new place. Depending on what you're looking for. For example, if I'm focusing on Python, I see a lot of Python developers contributed to this repository. Okay, nice. Some people are like so many stars. It's definitely very popular. One of the challenges, like, yeah, where they're located. And so you see this all the followers, people who are working, and so this is the real profiles that you can sort based on the location and language, and get another a boost of your sourcing strategy. So hopefully it's something that you can look into in your GitHub strategy. One of the things that I also thought, like LinkedIn, there are so many ways you can X-ray, and I'm as a sourcer, I'm not always having access to the paid LinkedIn. And one of the requirements I had from my hiring manager was that the person should work for some time in the company, and this way they would like to have candidates, those who stayed at least for 2 years in their current place. And I spent hours to looking for the ways how I can do that, because I didn't have a paid account at that moment. And I found a way, for example, if you put present 2 years or a year, it's going to give you the profiles of people who stayed in the company for some time. At the current place, because it's a present. I'm going to also send you the link, so you can, what you can do, you can change the language, you can add the location, and it's already something else, right? So you're again kind of trying to get out of let's say your sourcing area. With LinkedIn, there are so many things that you can also do, of course, with the paid version. But again, like I'm looking always in both, the stuff you can pay and stuff you can get. For example, Irina Shamaeva, so she also shared with everyone how you can look for people who hashtag themselves with open to work, and they have this green badge on their profile. I'm gonna just put it in here and you will see. So this is open to work. These are the people. So this function is available for paid users, but if you're not, or if you're limited by the amount of profiles, how many profiles you can look in a day, so this could be, so I will put Java, for example. So many great people. I can put some different location in here. For example, we'll put NL, and I will try to make it, of course, I'm sure there's going to be more people, but still, like, I don't see a lot of software engineers with this hashtag, but it could be helpful for something else, like I don't know, maybe looking for sales or someone else, right? So I really recommend to try, and big thank you to Irina for sharing it in the community. And also, one of the things is that most of the time you find the links that are created by someone. Every time when I'm thinking, trying to break another website to try to X-ray, I first Google it. Maybe someone already did it, but lazy people do that. But then I'm checking, okay, so if no one did it, okay, maybe I can have a look. And what I always do, I always look for the keywords on the page. For example, profile, resume, it could be followers, it could be joins, any words, try to find them. And so they're gonna lead you to also to something new. Also, I think lots of you know, but I still want to mention it because it's from the sourcing perspective very helpful. It's called Git Words. You can look for GitHub profiles of the most active people. They have a ranking in GitHub, and you can select them based on the city, based on the country, worldwide, and you can choose the language. So, for example, if I choose the city, so you can see I can choose Amsterdam, for example, and go for JavaScript and see the highest rankings. Actually, I already know lots of these people. I went through them many times, but the top 5 pages, usually the most senior people, and the ones that have a lot of stars in their repositories that they're contributing. So could be interesting if you're looking for very senior people. Sometimes I know that CVs or some personal blogs could be very helpful, and I just look for the documents or the keywords like resume or vitae. So that's something I also find it's basic, but you can add some other things. You can change the language. You can write it in Spanish, and you will see there will be different result for you. And again, it's gonna a little bit change your perspective. So let me Git words really, yeah, I love to use Git words as well. Amazing. Another thing that also was not obvious for me, but quite helpful. When I moved to the Netherlands, I didn't know that some of the areas, some of the cities together, they called Randstad. And some people even mentioned that they work in Randstad. So I thought like, okay, this is the name of the city, but no, it's the name of biggest cities in the Netherlands altogether. And when I started to put locations that have some kind of abbreviation, it led me to new profiles. So if you do that also on LinkedIn or someone else, try to Google what could be the abbreviation for some of the cities or areas, like EMEA, for example. It also something that could give you some different results, because what you're looking for something new that could show you some other people, not the ones that you already saw many times. Yeah, another way, and so this is an old school way, I call it myself, because I try to look into someone's the way how they call their emails, like it's Yahoo, for example, Hotmail, iCloud. So I'm going to share it as well. Quite a lot of results, and it is a specific search. It is in Amsterdam, and these are, for example, DevOps engineers. And I'm going to look at them, and I'm going to see if I can, if it could lead me to some good results. Usually a couple of pages, and if I don't see good results, so I just forget about this link and not using it. So also we'll be sharing with you. Yeah, repository shared. And yeah, if you're working with different, let's say I'm targeting Europe, right? And my company is absolutely okay to hire people from Spain, from Germany, from France. What I would do when I looked in separately in each city, I will try to first of all, change the language and try to find the ways how to look for people in specific area. Maybe they call themselves differently. Maybe they have some communities or different platforms. You probably came across this nice article about X-Ray on German language candidates, but I'm sure there will be more like that on, yeah, someone speaks Spanish, someone speak another language, etc. So that would be probably the way how I will try to tackle the problem if I'm limited with a location. Of course, you can also put it in your string, so you can put the city name, you can put the abbreviation, for example, NL for the Netherlands, or sometimes I write Netherlands, like in the Dutch language. So it is bringing some different results. In a way, it helps, but still, it's an old tool that you're using. And yeah, you can look into other things. So now we are moving a little bit to some of the new tools. Yeah, so for example, maybe it is the way how you do it differently. So you're gonna meet Mike next week, but I'm gonna share it. It is his invention, but we also know that there is something similar, Boolean builders done by Balash. So you can create a library of your Boolean strings, test them, and it is giving me some also opportunity to see how invested I am in this Boolean strings. Are they working for me? And are they bringing the results that I need? Maybe I just need to go to my company, like to my HR department, and say, hey, I just need more money to buy Seekouts or Phantom Bus or something else. So this is actually how I use it, but it's not the most popular scenario, I would say. Mentioning Phantom Bus, I will mention it very quickly. Because I already found a nice article as well. I use SourceCon a lot. Article about how to scrape on Slack. It's very deeply explaining actually how the Phantom Buster works. But I have something very nice for you guys that I'm going to share a little bit later. Yeah. So Phantom Buster is helping you to get the list of. Let me open it so that you can see it. Get the list of people that are belonging to one of the communities, for example. You can have it a free version, 10 minutes per day, but for me personally, it's more than enough. I can scrape like 15, 20,000 of people. I don't need to do that. I'm not a spammer, right? So, and I need to be careful with data. So for me, 100 profile, 200, maybe up for 500 profiles per day, that's more than enough to have a very good strategy. So you see there's different ways how Phantom works. So it could scrape you followers or people from Medium, from Reddit, from YouTube, from Slack, etc. Check it out. It's in a way, easy way. If you haven't came across this tool, it's easy way to get a report, the list of these people, their names, sometimes even the email addresses from some communities, from Twitter accounts. But yeah, be mindful, be respectful. Don't send them all messages, and yeah. But it could be a nice way to get into. If you will have more questions about this, so we can discuss it on later on this session. Yeah, other things probably also. It is a tool that I'm using on a daily basis. Love it just to brainstorm with myself. So you probably also saw it. Let me also put in here. Phantom Buster is banned in my company. Yeah, Phantom Buster in a way could be banned because of yeah, it could be not that GDPR friendly if as you're hoping for. So it extracts people's profile from the community, for example, from the channel. How you can work with it? You can contact Slack admins of this community, and you can ask them if it is okay if you post a job in there, if it's okay that you reach out to people who are in this particular channel because they're looking for a job. This way you make it very nice. So I'm going to show it. For example, this is the Slack community of Python software engineers. So there is a job board, and there are 5,000 people who are following it. So you can have a look if it's something you would like to do. Just type there, hey, we have a job, we're looking for this kind of people. Yeah, and it will be nicer way. Yeah, but I do know some companies are banning because of their the way that it stores some data. So that's a very good point. Thank you so much for mentioning. So I would like to be mindful about the time because I have so many things to share with you, and I hope that you guys following me as well, because I'm approaching one of my favorite parts. So what I like to focus on as well is sourcing on the communities, because most of the time there is a special place for me as a person, as a recruiter, to post the job or to see the people who are in sharing the same interest with me. So I would like to share this list with you, but there are so many of them, so it's very easy to find some. It's actually easy to X-ray the list of the list. So I'm gonna post it in here, and yeah. So what do you do with that? So you look if there are any communities that you like to join. You post your jobs. You can yeah, use the Phantom Buster to get profiles out of it. Yeah, but still, like, it is a sourcing tool, very powerful, and for sure when sometimes you're also running out of ideas. What do? You go in the general or like introduction section of this community, for example, or help, or I don't know, gaming, and I'm looking at the keywords. What are people are discussing? Okay, so they play this type of games. I don't know. They're talking about games actually a lot, but yeah, it's an ATC game. Okay, so maybe I will go and help. I would like to see, yeah, what's are they talking about? I know that I will not understand a lot of things, and someone is typing right now. That's so cool. But what I want from here, I want to see some keywords, some inspiration. What is media temple? Okay, so is it something that I can source? Is it something that you can find? Okay, this is gscaper.com scanner. What is that? So, and of course, lots of things like that are time taking a lot of time. But you go to this to the more creative ways of sourcing because you've tried everything that you could possibly think of. Other things as well, probably you came across, but this is the other, the second step I will make after I, for example, the link doesn't work. So just give me a second, guys. I'm gonna fix it. Exchange. So I'm gonna find it quickly for you. So I'm gonna share because this I like this one, and it's also in a way old one. But if you haven't came across of this one, I'm very happy for you because you're gonna find a new profiles. It is already created a search a request for you, so you just only need to. So let me. Yeah, the only thing you need to do, you need to put, for example, Java as a language, and I will put location, and then you run the query. The query already is going to extract. So I'm always need to prove extract the profiles for you. Is going to show you a list of people who meet these requirements. They are in the Netherlands and they know the language Java, and they most likely will be the ones who are scoring on Stack Overflow. So it usually takes like 30 seconds, but maybe like I'm sharing screen, I have millions of tabs open on another screen as well. But yeah, hold tight. They're gonna do it. So you will see the list of profiles and why it is a great way to find also quite senior profiles if you don't have talents as Stack Overflow paid. And also what I like about it, one profile links to another profile to some different questions. This is how it looks like. It's like a list. It's very nice. You see some names, so you see some nicknames. And I'm going to show you something that I just learned last week from Katya. So she always joining my sourcing sessions. So you see, this is the nickname, right? Okay, so for the nickname, I do have something different. So give me a second. So what's my name? I believe it's what's my name it's called. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, it's very important to keep all your links somewhere because like where have I seen this one? Like I know this one. Okay, just a second. What's my name? Yeah, if there is questions, please send them in the chat. I will try to get back to everyone as soon as possible. Yes, I found it. Okay. So we have a website that's called What's My Name? And you can put your nickname in here and you can see all kind of social medias that you are registered. So let's make an experiment. Actually, I didn't do it prior. So bear with me, it's going to be probably a big fail. So I put the name in here. Okay. So this person has Telegram account, SoundCloud, Pokemon Showdown, okay, Behance, blog posts. Great. So actually, Docker Hub. Okay, I'm interested. So I'm going to be very careful. Sometimes I open these links and I see very something strange. Gravatar we know, Keybase we know. Actually, it's one of the tools we use as well. Yeah, this is definitely a software engineer profile. Yeah, what else I can look into? Yeah, I can look into Telegram because Telegram sometimes, yeah, that's a funny name. Okay, so Russian speaking will understand. Yeah, and WordPress, maybe. Yeah, so, and there were Hacker News as well. So it could lead me to other ways of searching because here what I see, profiles, WordPress, org, and immediately as a sourcer, it triggers me. Can I make it a Boolean out of it? And yeah, I will never stop continuing after I open one link. So I see another one. So a huge thank for Katya for sharing this with me. And I'm going to share it in the chat, guys, because I know what you're going to do right now. You're going to check yourself. And this is what I did. And I was really surprised. I forgot about my Xbox account because I'm a Sony PlayStation person. So I play, that's my favorite, like PlayStation. I forgot that I ever had Xbox. So that was a big surprise for me. But yeah, I'm sharing it with you. Yeah. the Keybase is something that I think lots of you also came across. So basically, I see the nickname. It's hard for me to find the person, but based on the nickname, I can do that. It is manual work. Probably, if someone won't recommend it, I would agree. Do it if you have time. Do it if you're stuck. Most of the things that I recommend are based on, the need to find something else. Otherwise, you're like feeling that you can't do that anymore. Another thing I would like to share with you, like almost every morning, I'm opening Dev2 and reading it. So I'm gonna share with you here. I'm impressed by the ways how this community constantly bringing new different topics, and I like to read them. There is also the profile. It's definitely something that you see the location, and it's definitely something that is going to give me lots of insights. So what I like also about this website and why I spend so much time on it, it's also gives you a different it's like overview of a great project. And when I'm reading it, okay, so what is the signals? Okay, so they're building something. Okay, it's open source. Great. Yeah, never heard about this one. And then I Google, and I get to something that's actually will help me to get out from me being stuck with my sourcing strategy. Yeah, I like to go also for different type of diversity sourcing. So for me, it's a different backgrounds that people have, and I will look into some conferences, of course. So let me share the link with you as well. So I would look, of course, in the communities as well. What else I will do? Let me see. Yeah, I will use it as a hashtag. So I actually love using hashtags. I'm not sure if I can women talk tech. Okay, so I will just copy it because this gives me an idea that it could be a Twitter hashtag. Yeah, I'm gonna just demonstrate it again. Something in here, but I will make it as a. I'm not sure if I find someone or some topics, or if people do that. Yeah, web summits, etc. So it gives some profiles. You can make it a little bit more advanced. You can use a Phantom Buster for that. There's so many ways. That's actually the point. There are so many different ways. And okay, so I see Women Talk podcast. Okay, this is the followers. It's doable for me to look into these followers. I will double check their location, but I see, okay, already something that will make me very interested in male geek. Okay, so who are these people in male geeks? Okay, yeah, I see relevant. Lots of people probably asking what is that? Okay, so moving forward, one of the things that I was surprised when I was also talking to Han Lee, I said, hey, that would be super cool if you have the way to sort through your articles that you're sharing. So if you haven't subscribed for Recruit and Brain Food, so please do. It's tons of great information. But then he told me, yeah, well, there is a way, and I'm going to share with you if you haven't if you haven't seen that. So that was like the pleasant surprise for me as well, because you can actually source a lot through it. So you can see the toppings, toppings actually, topics about the sourcing. So, and you definitely can find a way. What you're missing, okay, nice. It's probably Irina Shamaila. I always read her, and I'm sure that's I don't know any sourcer who never heard about her probably anymore. So, but these are great people, and they're sharing their experiences. Yeah, platforms, great. So it's also another way where to look for the information. Other things that engineering blogs. I will briefly show it. It's one of the from Riot Games, and it also has different topics. Actually, the most thing that was the most helpful, because lots of things I don't understand. The most helpful were things like to look at GitHub repository they share, to look at the technologies, and to find the new words that I didn't know, because I use Glossary Tech, of course. I use other things that's going to help me to to create a bigger keyword search for myself, but still, I want to see what are the words I use for some specific jobs that are going to lead me to some better results that I have right now. I'm also going to share something that's I've recently came across. Actually, I was present in the moment when Jason and Glenn met, and they were discussing this opportunity to put something together. And I haven't seen anything more. It easy explains, easy to use right away. I'm gonna share with you, and it's one of the things that I also would like to admit. In this type of business that we are, it's not possible to survive alone. It's not possible to actually come up with all these ideas. 90% of these ideas belong to someone, and yeah, that's one of the points that I wanted to highlight as well. You can look into different ways how you can boost your sourcing strategy and in your energy as well through things like Discord communities as well. So let me, I will send it later, because if I open it, says the video starts going straight away. So there are other recruiters who created a video or tutorial how to scrape people from Discord. There is a tutorial how to do that on Telegram. Scraping as well, you have to be careful, you have to be mindful, you have to know how it works and what you do. But you can also just go and, oh no, I opened it, okay, sorry. You can just go and join these communities and actually become part of it. So I'm going to show you one that's I joined recently. So my software engineer, the hiring manager, came to me, say, hey, there's an amazing community called Gitpod. People introduce themselves, talking about the code, sharing recordings, and this is all about developers experience, and this the team that I was hiring for, and this was so helpful. So I've got tons of keywords in there. So I would like again to be very mindful about the time. So I will send some links for you guys also to share later, and look into sometimes not obvious places that you will look to. For example, Goodreads. You actually can find the book JavaScript, JavaScript, and you can see people who started, who leave the comments. It could be software developers, right? Because I can't imagine myself reading about JavaScript. That's easier. Other things, like I was looking for very hardcore Linux developers, and I know that they use Red Hat, and they call themselves Red Hat developers. I just, okay, I found one profile absolutely accidentally. So I'm going to open it. I looked into the link, how they call themselves in here, and I created the Boolean search for myself that I'm going to also share with you. So it is these are the candidates from Red Hat. They were relevant to me, and this actually brought me to, gave me a new absolutely perspectives. And probably the last I'm going to mention quickly. Lead code is very popular right now for the companies who are like the algorithmic type of questions. Yeah, you can look in the ratings. You can see people who are already using lead code, and there are people who are already using yeah, ocean edges. And no, sorry, that's me. So, but this is the point. Like, you never ever running out of ideas. So Hashnote actually came to me from also Katya. So she said, hey, there is a Hashnote. This is a great place. There are software engineers. Let's look how we can find the candidates out of there. And this is actually leading me to another thing I would like to discuss with you in the time that is left. I would like to show you my one party, but before that, I have a small thing to share with you. Could you please type in the chat what was the most unusual place you have ever sourced from? just give us the name. It should be digital. So I would say I found people in the public places as well. But let's go for digital. I will pick two answers, and I will send the chocolate bars from Amsterdam with love to these two people that I'm gonna choose from your answers in the chat. And yeah, what I was saying, while you're remembering some crazy great places, so I would like to tell you that best advice that I could give is never source alone. um, I I really like, almost with the tears in my eyes, I can say this. All these amazing folks. Not everyone is here, unfortunately, because I don't do recordings. So every Friday we at 12 sit down together and we challenge each other. People bring in the ideas. People bring the problems, and this is how we do. So here you see Katya. She's in the mask in the bus, but she's still joining, and other people as well. And you can see also Mark in here. He's also one of the speakers. I came to Mark because I knew that he was looking for SREs. He knew almost every observability person in the world, because there are not that many of them. And he helped me to get out of my also let's say strategy, get me some fresh ideas. He told me, by the way, do you know that they call themselves Oli? I was like, Oli? It's like observability, the first letter, the 11 letters in the middle, and it ends with E. Oli. And I found so many profiles with this hashtag. It was insane. So this kind of things, like Francesca, for example, I'm not sure if she's here, but yeah, so she shared amazing community alpha that I looked into, and yeah, I found so many great things in there. So this is my colleague Yves. So he was giving also some insights on the levels, how you can actually use it also for identifying if this right profile when you're sourcing for them, and etc. etc. So the main, let's say, challenge and the happiest thing is that you are not alone. Grab another source, grab another recruiter, do that. And I went even further. I started to conduct sourcing parties with software engineers. Oh, this is a tricky one. This is so challenging. And they kind of like it. And they giving me so many ideas, like, why you're looking here? So have you heard about this website? Have you heard about that one? I actually, yeah, remember one more thing that I wanted to share with you. There's a big list of different technologies. Let me see if I have it in here. Yeah, for example, yeah, you can look for a list of layoffs. I believe Wim shared it with me. So let me share that with you as well. How to join? Yeah, I will let you know how to join the event party as well. Yeah, the list of people who were let go is a horrible thing. You can look into them. So you see, it is list of layoffs during the pandemic times, hiring lists, some other like job searching people are using, internships, whatever you're looking for. So you can always find, you can source for this. Oh, this time you can source for this lists, and you can get some very interesting ideas out of it as well. Like, have you heard about Gitcoin? I never heard about it, but then I saw it and I created a search, and apparently with Gitcoin, it is a massive community of people who work with open source. And again, there are like thousands of them that I can have a look into, and probably its location, etc. So this is in a way very small representation of the thought process of the sourcer, who is excited to see what I can do else. So yeah, I put my favorite music, I reach out to people and ask them, and this is how sometimes my sourcing strategies looks like. It's like a sneak peek to my insides of my brain. So I like to organize it on the stickers, so you can see I put lots of keywords. I put the technical blogs I want to learn from. I joined the community just to understand what they do. I put myself into conference. Yeah, I really didn't understand anything, but still, chaos engineering is something that also Mark told me. Hey, they sometimes call themselves chaos engineers. What? Like, I would never know that if I wouldn't talk to him, or I wouldn't talk to one of the engineers. Kubernetes, this is short as well. These abbreviations are so helpful. So yeah, that's what I would do. I would like to leave some time for us to have questions. So please, Adrian, join me back. And I wish I can stop sharing. If I can stop sharing.
I think, is it in the top?
Last time we tried.
Yeah, no, that's not this one.
Yeah, it's close the video, then it will disappear from the screen. So let me open the questions then.
But otherwise, do that, and then I'll get you back on screen again.
Okay, then get me back, please.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't. Boom. Okay,
we made it. We made it.
Yeah, I mean technology.
Awesome. I know. Alla, wow. I think we need to put you on stage 3 hours, and then after 3 hours, everyone will still be like, "Wait, tell us more. Tell us more. Tell us more." This is unbelievable. I thought we knew kind of like what was going on in terms of different hacks, but your board is an absolute gem. I think that the biggest question of everyone right now is, can we get the board? How can we get access to all these different platforms, tools, and little links in that sense?
Of course, I'm thinking to create some PDF file with all these links, and maybe because you have access to this audience, maybe you can email them all this who registered. Okay, let's do that. So, guys, give me a week because I need to add all the links in the file, and I'm going to send it to you because the board is something that's a little bit tricky in terms of how I organize it. Oops, Adrian left probably.
No, I'm here.
Okay, I think the most important is the links and the resources, right? So this I promise, so I will do that. And I saw also the question about joining the party. So just send me the message on LinkedIn, and I will send you the link to Zoom. So basically, you join, you can switch off camera, switch off everything, just observe how people do that. So we through the problem and we try to source together. It's like a pair sourcing. So I love to call it like that. It's just 30 minutes every Friday. I think it's probably the only time I can dedicate to some volunteering projects. Join, and it is in English. It is absolutely a nice space of people who came to help each other. So I don't care if you're from agency, if you're self-employed, or if you're in the corporate. The only thing, it's a little bit more technical, like tech recruitment driven. So if you ask me how to look for sales, I will probably not be the best person. But I will use the keywords.
Exactly. Perfect. Okay, so people connect with you on LinkedIn, and then you will share the Zoom. Perfect. Okay, great. That sounds wonderful. Alla, I have a question for you. So there's so many different platforms, different stones, etc. to go by. But one of the things, how do you deal with the pressure of, if you work on Evergreen Roles, right? Of you need to get hires in, or you need to submit candidates in that sense, versus the low hanging fruit, the regular, the low effort, high impact, versus then going into these more detailed kind of platforms where you have a lot of false positives. How do you deal with that? Of not falling in the trap, going back to the easier platforms to search in that sense. How do you do that?
Of course, that's a great question, and there are different ways how you can deal with it, right? So I try to explain my hiring managers that the candidate that they want, usually the one that we need to headhunt. Headhunting is going to take some time, so I need to create a very and reach out after I found it. To find the person is probably even not the biggest challenge, because some people would like to be seen. So you can find the blogs on Medium, or the activity on LinkedIn, or their Twitters. So there is a way to find, even in these platforms that are time consuming, but you can still do it fast. And if your company is paying for tools, you can actually get I don't know, for example, if you seek out, so you can get a structured report, list of people you need, or if you join in some Codis rank, for example, it's another way. So you join the community, you pay for the subscription, and you see the people who are ready to join you, who are looking for a job right now, or one hack as well. So I would say, first of all, we'll set the expectations that probably it's gonna take some time, and exactly how much time I can predict myself. I can see where the people coming from, what are the challenges. I mean, if my manager is asking me to find the person in the Netherlands only, I would probably in the 2 weeks come back to this person and say, hey, there's no more people I can find. So even if you ask me very, very hard, so I just can't. So I would still reach out to the communities. This is the place where I post the job, not only scraping and going through all the profiles. The sourcing strategies that I build, I try to make them specific a little bit to the location, to the language, etc. So I'm not sure if it's helpful, but I personally don't know a quick fix for finding people who are not or either don't want to be found or who are not easy to find.
Yeah. Okay. Clear. One Dima asked, can you share some funny story of hiring someone from one of these unusual resources that you shared?
I didn't mention it, but it was in the board because it's a funny story, right? So yeah. I was playing League of Legends. So I do that a lot, and there is a chat, and there were people, we just on the headsets, and I was like, yeah, by the way, I'm a recruiter, so I really spent so much time looking for this observability team lead, and the person switched on the mic, said, hey, I actually could know. I'm in Ireland and I work in this company and I know the person. Let's connect. And I was like, oh my God, be hired the person. And it was like, very casual. I was like, yeah, I'm a recruiter. So yeah, I'm playing the game right now because I want to have some time off and then I can continue. So yeah, but don't forget to also try to make it a little bit also in a way, not a problem, but a challenge for your manager as well. Give me more like different tools that I think you can think I can look into. Competitors list, other locations, something else, because sometimes, we are asking possible things. And even if we try so hard, we probably couldn't succeed because, it's just not possible.
Yeah. That's a great story.
Try. Yeah, in a gaming, so yeah, it happens sometimes.
I think last question, Alla. Question from Anna. Do you have any statistics on the number of found and hired candidates from different resources in comparing to like LinkedIn or like inbound applicants?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why actually my board was these resources were divided into the ways how big efforts I need to spend and how much outcome I have. So I would say the sourcing communities, getting using Phantom Buster, going to the communities like Slack and Discord. Made me 70% of my hires are from there. So, and I invest a lot in publishing job posting there, reaching out to people because they actually already received the DM instead of email, and the response rate is not very high, but quite immediate. That would be like the best tool, I would say. And I shared with you the presentation that is made by Glenn and Jason. So look into it. So you probably will find also some ways to scale, because another challenge that I have is how to scale, how to bring hundreds of profiles that are fitting to what the company is looking for.
Yeah. Alla, it's over. I honestly think we could have talked for hours on end. Thank you so much. I now completely understand why everyone spoke so highly of you and recommended you to speak. Super well done. Thank you once again. We can't wait to test all those different links. Have new sources to source from. If people want to connect with you, LinkedIn is the best platform, I assume, Alla?
Yeah. It's the best way. Just contact me there and I will reply to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Guys, thank you so much again for attending, for all your interaction, for all your questions in that sense. We will send the recording next week, and the week after we'll send all the links that Alla shared. Next week is going to be our last sourcing webinar of this season. We have Mike Cohen, aka the Batman, telling us more about his experience. Alla, thank you so much, and I hope to see everyone again next week. Goodbye.
Sorry, one thing, chocolate. I promised chocolate. I'm gonna select 2 people as promised and email to you your chocolates. So I didn't forget.
Awesome. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.